The best things in life may be free, but under a buck is pretty close. When you buy Uncle Nick, The Bro Next Door, or Corporate Land on Amazon, you can also get the Kindle version for only 99 cents. So buy one for yourself and shove the other in some asshole's Christmas stocking. A link is in the description.
Bad Popp showed up, and we're doing a response video, and the people who made this have pissed me the fuck off.
But does this mean we let white male fragility and anger hold us hostage? Nope.
I know you made this from a safe space of tolerance, right?
But you know who else is angry? Women and people who aren't white.
But what you have done is prove that racism in this country is totally acceptable, but only if it's against white men. And heaven help you if you happen to be a Christian white male. Holy shit. Because that makes you literally Hitler, right? Where? Yeah. Please, take a moment and review this preposterous description.
Having all the power and privilege in the entire world for all of history has been tough on white men.
All of history, huh? Oh, you want to go down that road? Let us begin. Some of my Irish ancestors should have a bone to pick with that, you bitch. Not that any of these libtards know a damn thing about the slave trade.
That was when whites enslaved black people.
Fuck off. That was just the tip of the iceberg. And the rest of that iceberg doesn't look so good for Islam. Oh, I went and did it. I'm an Islamophobe, Space Ghost.
Der muslimische Sklavenhandel war der längste in der Geschichte der Menschheit. Er währte 13 Jahrhunderte und hatte viel mehr Opfer als der Sklavenhandel nach Amerika, der 400 Jahre dauerte.
I'm spun up. Let's jump in both feet. Let us begin. Oh, wait, whoa, stop. She hasn't even said a word, and I'm already pissed off. First of all, why in the fuck would you start this video off with you in the goddamn bathtub? Oh, and you're drinking some white male tears, no less. You know, that's slang for cum, you know, just saying. But we know exactly why you chose to start this video this way. You did this so anyone who pointed it out, you could call a sexist and then disregard their opinion. Fuck you.
Doesn't it seem like some white men are really angry lately?
Not all white men.
Dude, roll it back. Check it out. Every feminist bathroom now comes to the cuck, mangina, and a bitch brain. Check it out.
I said some.
Yes, you did say some. In fact, you're going to be depending upon that. But please go on with your broad, sweeping strokes of your racist bullshit.
According to precarious man theory, when men don't feel masculine, they tend to act out in stereotypical gendered ways.
Hold up. My bullshit detector's going off and I think it's wedged up in my tank. Give me a moment. I know you're all in the same boat as I am. What the fuck is precarious man theory? Listen, I Googled it, so you don't have to. Suck it, Space Ghost. They call this a theory, but it's more like a hypothesis, and I'm just being kind there. But apparently this theory is only 6 years old and unproven. And it all comes from this article written by 2 psychologists in South Florida. One of them is a feminist, the other one, you guessed it, bitch brain.
Which is why you're getting pushback from the men in your life for just existing.
But not all men, just white men, right?
But it's not you, it's white men.
Because every culture needs its scapegoat, I guess. Hey, the Germans, they had the Jews, and that would make you literally Hitler, right?
Pop, don't let it go. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you.
It's white men. They're a little fragile right now.
All right. You're talking about how angry we are and how we act out when our masculinity is threatened. I have no doubt that you will eventually tie mass shootings to white people, but with all that bloodshed and anger, somehow we're still fragile.
Can I at least
waste your time? Wouldn't recognize you if you didn't.
Here's why. See, white men used to be able to raise a family, buy a house, and retire on one salary. Their own.
Those were the good old days. Kinda before feminism. Once women got the right to vote without having to sign up for the draft, government spending went through the motherfucking roof. Women, they voted for more handouts, social programs, and bigger government. And you know who has to pay for all that bullshit, right? The working white man.
But thanks to growing income inequality, that's something white men can't do anymore.
I forgot, that's right, somebody's feeling the burn. The upper 1/10 of 1%, right? Shut up.
And that's throwing off some really comfy gender norms.
Explain to me what is so comfy about working yourself half to death, and sometimes all the way to death, 92 to 96% of the time, depending upon which study you look at. Nobody's bitching about equality there while they're throwing dudes hand over fist into the dirt. Then again, that's kind of what we do. Men, they've always been seen by society since the beginning of time as being expendable. They're always first in line to go fucking die in a war, and they're last in line when it came to getting into the lifeboats on the Titanic. Oh, that's right, but that was back when women were oppressed, right?
Oh, God, stop. I'm in a pool of tears here.
If by oppressed you mean living on your daddy's wallet and then going to your husband's wallet and not signing up for the draft despite the fact you get to choose what this fucking country spends its money on, oh yeah, you are just so oppressed. Wah.
You know what else white men can't do anymore?
Win in divorce court. Screen 5. Fuck that.
Afford to keep a full-time spouse at home. Have job security. Depend on federal mortgage programs to help them buy a house. And rely on subsidized, high-quality healthcare, subsidized retirement programs, and Social Security.
Well, that was a lot of shit, and yeah, I did say shit. Everything that this wench mentions, point by point, is complete malarkey. Full-time spouse. What the fuck does that even mean? Is there actually a program for a part-time spouse? We only have to spend 25 hours a week with them? Where the shit was that when I got married? What the fuck?
You know, I happen to have a position available on my penis.
Just so you know, woman, job security never really existed, sorry. You fuck up, you get fired. That's what happens in the real world. And you would know that if you had a real job instead of putting bullshit videos on the internet. Screen 5. Ha ha!
What is that? What the fuck is that?
I know you guys are like,
Popp, what about the unions?
well, that's a whole different ball of wax. Now that women can do everything men can do. In case you couldn't tell, that last part, sarcasm, because you can't. You say you can, but in reality, you have to lower the standards so you can, which really means you still can't.
You idiots. You lied to me.
Mortgage programs. Holy shit, she went there. Well, woman, you just picked a fight with the wrong motherfucker, because I used to do that on a national basis, bitch. First of all, FHA is for everyone. It doesn't go by race, color, creed. It only goes by how good your credit is and this. Which means not spending money on shit you don't have or keeping up with the Joneses or Jamal. As a result, most conventional loans go to whites and Asians. Oh, and just so you know, Asians make more money than white people. You break this all down by ethnicity, you gotta go down 3-4 on the list before you even get to a white dude.
Well, that rules out the race thing. You were just as black last week.
So you know who's taking advantage of the FHA program? Blacks, Latinos, and single mothers by default. Well, blacks and Latinos were claiming that they were being discriminated against by the mortgage corporations. So they came up with a bunch of subpar mortgages that didn't really require excellent credit, and that led directly to the mortgage bubble of 2007. Now that's not what the mainstream media is gonna feed you, and I don't give a shit. I was there. I saw it first fucking hand.
Clarification. It's a beautiful thing.
Now let's talk about healthcare. Last time I checked, there was never ever any subsidized healthcare for a man until he was at the end of his life and ready to kick his air addiction. You either bought it yourself or shared the cost with your employer. That is it. You know, people out getting health insurance without having the government's gun at your head. That was until the feminists and liberals out there that said,
Hey, we can make the angry white man pay for all of our shit, and we'll vote it into law. And when he gets angry, we're just gonna say he's a racist, sexist, and that should make him shut up. And if he doesn't shut up, we're just gonna say he's blind to his own privilege, right?
while he's living out of a refrigerator box, or his car, or under a tent, you stupid hooer. And that is how liberals have gotten you to vote for them for so long. They offer you free shit that the angry white man has to pay for. Gee, I wonder why he's pissed. Shocker!
Except you're forgetting there's one thing I could do now.
Next up is the retirement programs. Really? Are you serious about this one? Only someone completely out of touch with reality would even dare to put this on this list. Oh, that's right. You're a feminist, so reality isn't a factor for you.
You see what he did there?
There's basically 3 ways people retire. Number 1, they do it privately, meaning they buy their own retirement or they get a broker to handle their money for them. Number 2, second one, which is way more common, is you split it with your employer. And number 3, that's Social Security, and that is going away. And you bitches out there, you single mamas, it's all your fault. Because you wanted the government titty and you don't mind raking a dude through the coals to get it.
Because it's being driven by a system that makes money out of stealing children.
Because of Title IV, every dollar they steal from you, gentlemen, is another dollar stolen from Social Security to fund this whole goddamn thing. Thank you, feminism. Fuck you, Space Ghost. You got divorce court on your side. You got friend of the cunt on your side. You got Title IV on your side. Hell, you got everything on your side. That's why men commit suicide.
Clean up on aisle 3.
Basically, you're gonna see a recurring theme in all of this bullshit that we've covered before. That is liberals creating these problems and then bitching about them, especially when there's a backlash. And it's so easy just to blame the white man for it, right? In fact, we're the only ones you're allowed to make fun of. Well, you know, fat people, blacks, women, basically everyone. If you're me, I take no prisoners, and I take no shit, especially from you. An average at best looking, subpar, angry feminist, lesbian bitch.
Need gift ideas for your shitty relatives this year? Get them something worthless. Check out Worthless and other books by Aaron Clary on Amazon.com. A link is in the description.
These entitlement programs were part of the privilege of being a white man.
You keep using that word entitlement, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't mean what you think it means. I'm going to tell you what entitlement means. Are you ready? And this is coming right out of the dictionary, which you haven't changed yet. It's that book you keep referring to when you're trying to explain why feminism is still relevant. By the way, it's still not. Space Ghost.
Entitlement, noun, the fact of having a right to something, the amount to which a person has a right, the belief that everyone is inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment.
Now that I've made that clear, I shouldn't have to explain why you're full of shit, but I will do it anyway. Everything that you just listed is not an entitlement. They are things that us angry white men or people in general have to work for. That is something that we understand. In fact, we advocate this because it's called a free market system. It is you and your mangina offspring who want these to become entitlements. You want free college. You want free abortions. You want free health care. Free, wah, wah, wah. Please, pick up that dictionary again and look up what free means. Because all the shit we're talking about, it ain't free. It costs money. And you're pushing that cost onto other people. You're not a charity, and you are not entitled to the money in my fucking pocket. And yes, that word was used correctly.
And it must be enraging to watch them slowly slip away at the hands of growing income inequality.
You're right. It is enraging, but you're absolutely full of shit when you try to tell me why. Because income inequality, as you are promoting it, is bullshit. Any libtard should be able to tell you about the 3 types of income inequality. Number 1, the mythical gender pay gap. We already debunked this, check it out. Number 2, racial discrimination. It's illegal, doesn't happen, fuck off. The upper 1/10 of 1%, right? They actually think they have this in a deadlock when they point to the average incomes between whites and blacks. Oh my god, the whites, they make so much more money, it must be racist. Wah. You're gonna call me a racist for this, but I'm just saying the truth, it's gonna be great. 25% of white kids are born in single-parent homes. 75% of black children are born out of wedlock. Holy shit! Take a look at those now 4 numbers and tell me that there is no correlation. You'd have to be stupid, blind, stoned, or perhaps this chick on ecstasy.
There's something wrong with my brain?
Oh yeah.
But you know who else is angry?
I don't really care, but I'm sure you're gonna tell me.
Women and people who aren't white.
Shocker!
See, we've been excluded from these programs for longer than we've been included in them.
No, you haven't. Those programs, they were built for you. They were designed by Democrats to keep you dependent on the big government handouts. And you're voting yourself back onto that plantation every single time you vote one of those motherfuckers in. We can see it, and that's why it makes us pissed. You're not seeing it because you're stupid. I guess ignorance is bliss, but that's not true either, huh? If it was, these feminists would be the happiest people on the planet. And studies show that they're not. In fact, once they hit that wall, they're killing themselves at record speed. But still, they're not killing themselves as much as men, because men are still better at it. Like everything else. Screen 5!
You suck at life, the whole world hates you, you're going to hell, live with it. Game over.
And we're really mad about it too. So I say welcome, white men. You've officially joined the Fucked Over Club.
Let's just be honest and call a spade here. No pun intended. But we've been getting fucked ever since the women got the right to vote. Since LBJ and the Democrats have been brainwashing women and minorities, we've been super fucked. So in reality, who's really getting fucked here? The people who are getting all the handouts on someone else's dime, or the people who are paying for it? You already know the answer to that one. Moving on.
We get that you're angry, and while it's not our fault...
Stop right there, bitch. Yes, it is. Well, you could blame it on the evil patriarchy that brainwashed you into voting for them. Yeah, I guess you could do that. As evil as they are, they still cannot force you to be a selfish, covetous pig.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
So take your fat ass back to that slot bar and scarf it up, bitch. I'm sure it's nasty, and I'm sure it smells like shit, but I'm positive it is not the nastiest hole you've eaten out of.
Pop, don't let it go. What? X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you.
We can totally empathize with your loss of privileges, even though we've never had them.
You're confusing empathize with demonize.
But don't listen to me, an angry lesbian. Let a white man tell you the exact same thing.
Oh, this ought to be good. What kind of cuck did you get for this bullshit?
Once upon a time, we had 98% of all of the positions of power. And now we only have like 88%. And we think, oh my God, women are taking over.
First of all, that's bullshit. Second of all, here comes the truth bomb. Men are not afraid of women getting into positions of power if they earn it. But most of the time, they don't.
I'm triggered.
They achieve these positions by forcing the establishment to lower the standards for them. Or flat out, they get hired to fill an affirmative action quota. We've already talked about this, women at work.
He's one of the world's leading experts on men and masculinity.
That's it? That's your argument?
This shriveled, old nutsack of a cuck is supposed to be an expert on men and masculinity.
Once upon a time, the whole world was a locker room. Everywhere you went, it was all guys. But now, women have entered every single one of those arenas.
So basically, what you're saying here is when men were in charge, things were better.
Okay, I had to freeze frame this because this is just too precious. This used tampon is such a world-renowned expert on masculinity, but yet the only man in this room is the fucking tranny at the far end of the table. It is a sad state of affairs when the only swinging dick in a room full of masculine expertise is wearing a dress.
The ultimate woman is a man.
The change in our lives has taken place so bewilderingly fast that so many men feel like, what happened? And now you're getting all the advantages. Women are getting everything.
We know what happened. Women, with the help of big government, have shoehorned their way into every strata within our economy. Instead of just walking in there and joining the culture and being equal, they said,
fuck that. You are all gonna change to meet my needs.
Is that equality?
The belief that women are somehow a naturally weaker gender is a deeply ingrained, socially constructed myth.
The lawsuit filed Thursday states that 12 female officers feel discriminated against after they failed a physical fitness exam recently implemented within the Colorado Springs Police Department. The women claim the test is unfair for their age and sex.
Do I seem happy to you?
Never.
These sexual harassment laws. You don't even have to touch her. You don't even have to talk to her. If she even feels harassed, you're fucked.
Don't fucking say hello to me, bitch.
Don't fucking say hello. I don't play that sexual harassment shit. Let me get your address. Bitch, you don't fucking say hi to strange women you don't know, bitch.
Maternity leave. Do I have to really go into detail about that one? Women get it, men don't. Not equality, space ghost.
The guys who are the angriest are the ones who said, I made a bargain with the society. I will be a good man. I will be a good husband. I will be a good father. I will work really hard. I will pay my taxes. And in return for that, I should be able to support a family by myself.
A man should be able to do all of those things and provide for a family, providing his wife is grateful. As soon as she's not happy, you're fucked. And those bills, they go through the roof. And friend of the court is no friend of yours. In fact, you don't pay that child support, you lose your jobs, a guy with a gun shows up to your door. And that is even if you still have a door and you have to live out of a refrigerator box or your car like me. So please, enlighten me. Tell me one more time how privileged I am.
It's a done deal. So we men have a choice. We can be dragged kicking and screaming into the future, or we can say, this is a completely different world. What's in it for us?
And that's where you get the red pill MGTOW guys. In fact, that's the complete opposite of angry. They just don't give a shit anymore. They're done. That is recognizing an obviously rigged game, stepping back from the table, taking your chips, and going the fuck home. And that's why we're talking about this, right? It's not about angry white men. It's about angry women who want our money. And your meager attempts to shame and guilt us into giving you that money anyway. We know what's in this game for us. This whole rigged game you're trying to sell us? Slavery and fucking death and unmitigated unhappiness.
What's in it for white men?
What's in it for white men?
Not just white men, you racist cocksucker. All men.
All of the available evidence suggests that the more gender equal our relationships are, the better our health, the better our relationships with our partners, spouses, and friends.
Okay, I want to know what bullshit studies you're talking about, because I have a bunch that directly contradict that shit. Studies prove that men and women, they were happier when they had a symbiotic relationship. And do not confuse that with equality. You know, that whole different but equal thing? That actually applies in a relationship, or at least it used to. Biologically, men are better at certain tasks. We're stronger, faster, have more endurance. We are biologically engineered to hunt and gather for a family, where women are biologically geared to nurture and keep a home. And those are the only two real options, you gender fluid fucktards.
The better our children do in school, the happier countries are, the better corporations do.
Whoa, hold up right there. What did you just say? First of all, you're talking economics again, and you're not qualified to talk about that. Second of all, when do the libtards give a shit about corporations? When you're not demonizing white men, that's the alternate target you go after.
We have come to this idea that gender equality is a zero-sum game.
Because it is. Moving on.
And if women win, men are going to lose.
Because that's how feminists want it, and that's the way it's going. Have you checked our fertility rate lately? It's the lowest it's been since they started measuring it. And they started back in the 1800s when half the kids fucking died.
The reality is, when women win, men win as well.
Now, if you're actually paying attention to that reality which we all seem to be living in, there you go. And you don't have your head completely rammed up your fourth point of contact, aka your ass, you would know that this is weapons grade smelly horse shit.
We need to kill all men.
So that's why white men are so angry.
You got everything completely wrong.
Their position in society is changing fast, and they've never had a chance to reevaluate it.
Oh, we have, and that's why we're leaving the system in droves. And that's scaring the shit out of you now, isn't it? Because if you can't shame us into paying for your government handouts, what are you gonna do?
It must suck to have your previously very stable identity feel so fragile.
Finally, you are insinuating that we're all old enough to experience the shift in identity and culture, which means we would have to be adults in the 50s and 60s before the Democrats fucked the whole thing up. Well, those people, they're dead. They're about to be, or they're shitting in diapers and walking in circles. They are beyond the veil of giving two shits about this. And the rest of us, we grew up in it. And us dudes, we know the deal and we're walking the fuck off the lot.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, just walk out like I'm not gonna do anything.
Bye-bye.
But does this mean we let white male fragility and anger hold us hostage? Nope.
You know what? You're absolutely right. But you do not get to hold that gun to our head in return. See ya. That is exactly what you're trying to fucking do with this 3-shell Monty bullshit you're pitching.
It means we continue to challenge men on their behavior, support masculinity that doesn't benefit from putting others down.
Oh, that's right. This wouldn't be a complete brainwashing attempt if you didn't throw toxic masculinity in at the end, huh? I gotcha. You don't hear people talking about toxic femininity. They just call that feminism.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were having a state the obvious contest.
And encourage men to support each other.
So you want men to come together, talk about their feelings, and share, right? What happens every time men try to do that?
Shut the fuck up for a second! You should be fucking ashamed of yourself. You're fucking scum.
They are shamed into silence by cry bully bitches like you. And this shriveled scrotum of a cuck with his so-called masculine expertise.
So the next time you see an angry white guy, say, "Welcome to the club."
You know what? Why don't y'all come over to my club instead? In my club, everyone can hate you publicly and in the media, and there is no consequences for that.
Kill male babies and just kill any man that you see, like in the streets, like any swinging dick. Just kill him.
You have to register for the draft where you might die or lose a limb. You have to agree to take part in all of those dirty, dangerous, and discomfortable jobs, and you cannot walk into any job and expect a lower standard. And why is that? Because that is true equality. But you don't know a fucking thing about that now, do you? Nor would you want to, because you don't have the fucking balls to do it. Screen 5. Yeah!
This conversation is over because I've officially run out of clever things to call a guy.
With that being said, I'm not angry. In fact, I feel a lot better. I might go take a bath, topless. You know you want to watch. Don't give me a homo submission point. I'm just fucking around here. Just fucking around. While I'm fucking around, please check out the links below, Patreon and PayPal. Send us a couple bucks, help me restock the vodka, and keep this show rolling. All your average-looking lesbians in your bathtubs, hit the subscribe and the bell. Because if you do, just send your cup and I'll squeeze off some of those special male tears for it, if you know what I mean. Holy shit. Say that again, man. This could be a good one. She is completely full of shit. They're equal. They don't need to be coddled. You should be able to show up and do the fucking shit. Shut your fucking mouth. If dudes are fucking threatening or whatever, be threatening yourself. Oh, you can't? Then you're not my fucking equal. To be angry, you have to give a shit, damn, or a fuck. A lot of red pill guys are done. They don't even care about the system anymore. There's no anger involved. They're just walking off the lot.